Okay, well, I'm just gonna kind of address something really important up top. I know that, I see you guys see me, I know that you guys are intimidated. And when you're intimidated, you guys see me and you're like, we remember her from before, and then you see me now. And you're seeing me now and you're like, we can tell that she is someone who has one of those mall kiosk ass foot massagers under her desk, and you're right. You're correct, I do. But I just want you guys to know that you shouldn't feel intimidated. I'm just like you. Yeah. I also have flaw. I also have flaw. My flaw is, up until pretty recently, I didn't know that Al Pacino was a real guy. I thought that Al Pacino was a character Robert De Niro played in a movie. And people love to be like, oh, like men need to stop explaining movies to women, like film bros need to stop telling women about movies, like men need to stop explaining movies to women. And it's like, well, some of us could actually really use the information. Some of us actually, it wouldn't have hurt to know. I'm just gonna let me know. I think kind of when I announced that information in other arenas of my life that I didn't know about the real Italian man. A lot of my loved ones were like, how did you not know? How did you not know? How did you not know? And my question to everyone is, I'm sorry, why do you think I knew that? Why? Is it because I have big eyes, high eyebrows, and I always look like I just read an article that I did not like? Doesn't mean I know things, okay? Oh, you didn't know who Al Pacino was? I don't know how to use iMessage on my computer. Someone help me. No, I'm trying to quit drinking. I don't really drink a ton, but I think the thing that's kind of stopping me I want to quit drinking. I think it just kind of reminds me of college when I would drink a lot, right? In college, I drank so much that I would do things like purchase a single ticket to see a white rapper live in concert. And this wasn't one of those cool, charismatic white rappers that you keep hearing about. So it's one of those white rappers where everyone in the audience looks like they eat keys. And scary. You don't want to be there. So I want to quit drinking, but I think the thing that stops me is I don't yet know how to replicate the feeling of having 2 glasses of wine and being in an Uber and having a moment where I'm just like, wait, beauty's all around us. Beauty's all around us if we just look. I think if I'm in the park and I don't have just kind of 1.5 White Claws, there's no other way. There's just no other way that I'm gonna point at the sky and be like, I'm gonna look up what kind of bird that is later. Is that a cardinal? I'm gonna check. I will look it up. I'm doing pretty well. I started seeing a new therapist. I started seeing an OCD therapist for the first time, which has been very helpful for me, very different from seeing a talk therapist. I was doing that before. And here's kind of what is different about seeing an OCD therapist versus a talk therapist. One of them is for treating OCD, so if you don't have that, don't go to that one. I honestly think you'll find it really confusing. Even upsetting, I don't know. The difference between a talk therapist and an OCD therapist is that one of them is nice and one of them is mean. Guess which one works? Interesting. Started seeing an OCD therapist. It's been different. Like a talk therapist is very their kind of ways of therapy are different. A talk therapist is very I want to know everything. I want to know who you are, how you are the way you are, and how we can take you to where you want to go. And an OCD therapist is like, hey, stop that. can heal. And an OCD therapist is like, I want you to know that when you tap on doorknobs, other people see that. I've seen that. You can't make an OCD therapist laugh either. Like, all my friends with talk therapists are like, oh, I don't know, my therapist is so nice, but she doesn't take me seriously anymore because I've learned to trick her. She thinks I'm too funny. She thinks I'm too funny. She thinks I'm so funny. And I'm like, I do not have that problem. And an OCD therapist is kind of like an immigrant mom. You try to crack a joke in a session, and she's immediately like, haha, don't you have work to do? Kind of a lot of hee ha ha for the time that you're paying to be here. I posted that joke online, and I was very nervous about it because I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm like oversimplifying an entire discipline of therapy. Maybe that's not fair. Maybe I shouldn't be calling all these therapists mean. And the OCD therapists did find it. And every single one of them commented, oh my God, so true, girl. It's like, ow, okay, ow, that's scary. I'm doing well. A couple of years ago, I froze embryos. So in a sense, I am a mother. So kind of watch how you talk to me. A lot of you are speaking to me very casually, like you don't understand my stature. I did freeze embryos. A lot of Republicans want to argue that embryos are children or that they have the same rights as children, and I'm here to let you guys know that that is not true. Here's how they make embryos. Okay, science lesson. Here's how they make embryos. They take the egg, they take the sperm, they mix them together, they put it in the freezer for later, for whenever you want. That's not children, that's meal prepping. Kind of all that is. You can toss them whenever you want. That is one of the options. One of the options is to, if you decide that you don't want to use them, you can toss them. The other option is you can donate them to a couple that needs them that doesn't have viable embryos, which I think that's a really nice option to just kind of give them to some bitch. I think that's a good option. But it's a big decision, right? And I personally, I could not find myself, I couldn't do it. And it's because I don't really feel like I'm responsible enough to kind of do something like that, to donate my embryos. Okay, so what you guys need to know is that these embryos, they are biracial. And if I knew that my biological child was just somewhere out in the world and I didn't know where, I just know that I would not be able to stop myself from kind of disciplining random biracials in the street. It's not right, but I would be doing it. I'd be at the grocery store, I'd see a half Indian kid, I'd be like, Connor Patel, put that down. We're not doing M&Ms today, okay? I'm your mother, maybe. Get in the car. I do think you should name your kid something normal. Actually, sorry, I used to think you should name your kid something normal. That's something that I really strongly believed. Every time I met like a child named like Tartley or like Whitehall, you know, I'd be like, I'm more mad at your parents for this than the financial crimes I know they have committed. You should name your kid something normal. And then I like froze these embryos, like, you know, did all these hormone shots, like did a surgery, did all these ultrasounds, and all that happened, and I was like, wait a minute. I'm gonna name my kid whatever I want. Like, I'm sorry, you came out of my body, I'm naming you Brangelina Tic Tac. I gave you life, I'm gonna call you Rat the Third. What happened to Rats 1 and 2, we don't know. We really don't know. I froze my embryos because a couple of years ago I had cancer, now I'm cancer-free, which is very exciting. You know, obviously cancer can be very scary because at any moment I could still make you run a 5K. Statute of limitations on that. There's a lot of admin work that goes into being sick. I think that's like the thing that I like kind of think about the most with this, where like when I got diagnosed, one of the first things I had to do was I had to like find my own oncologist. I had to find my own cancer doctor on google.com to find my own cancer doctor. And my doctor actually did refer me to an oncologist, but I couldn't go with her because I did something very important, which was I looked up a picture of her on the hospital's website, and she was goth. Just kind of head to toe, all black, like big chunky bangs, big necklace, heavy eyeliner, goth, and that didn't work for me because I wanted to live. And I was just like, I'm sorry, girl, if you're gonna take care of me, like, I need you to have a zest for life. So you gotta be careful. Like, not all doctors are good, right? You guys know, we've all kind of gone to doctors that are bad. Like, all of my cousins are doctors, which you guys see me and you're like, we know. And all my cousins are doctors, and some of them I'm like, I trust you with my life, and others I'm like, thank God you only do feet. Okay. I've seen you sneak tequila into Six Flags. Don't touch me with that little knee hammer. For me. Okay, you guys, are we ready to keep this show going?